there, wonderful humans, and happy Earth Day to you. My name is Anthony,
And my name is Eric.
and we are the Board Game Dads with another holiday spotlight here. And this time it's all about Mother Earth. Earth Day, April 22nd. And we're going to talk about a few games that feature either parts of the sort of purpose of Earth Day or really just celebrating the planet with some themes and whatnot in that. But before we get to that, Eric, a little trivia for you. Any idea what year the first Earth Day took place?
Nope, but I'm going to guess.
I would like you to.
How about, let's see, that seems like something that they didn't care about until like 1976.
Okay. 1970, but you were definitely in the right direction. It was certainly the environmental effects of industrial waste were really ignored for a long time, and it took quite a while for people to realize how dangerous this stuff was. And I was just reading a little bit about the history of it. Of course, if you want to know more, you can go to earthday.org and check out all that stuff. But basically, they organized it almost at the midpoint. It was a midweek day, Wednesday, I believe it was, between the spring break of this particular college and the week of their final exams to ensure they had the most student interaction, student participation, rather. So the couple of senators that were running this campaign to start this movement were trying to capitalize on how much the student population got behind the anti-war movement. And so they strategically picked it during that week so that they could have this, on-campus sort of thing, and sort of blew up from there. Here we are in 2021, still celebrating. I don't think this one is ever going to leave the calendar. Any memories of Earth Day in terms of elementary school activities or whatnot?
Nope. How about you?
You don't remember ever talking about like recycling or how to like save the planet?
I guess I remember talking about recycling.
I think I have more solid memories of things like that because I taught in elementary school as well, and a lot of that stuff sort of like came back to me.
Right.
So yeah, it is usually a big day in schools in terms of talking about ways to save the planet and little things you can do, and recycling, reusing, things like that.
Reducing,
right? That's the other one. So there's that. I guess it would be time now for a couple of honorable mentions.
All right.
Would you like to go first?
Sure. My honorable mention is a game called Ocean Crisis, which is a game about keeping the ocean clean. Well, why isn't that game actually on the list? You might be asking yourselves. And I have more information about that game a little bit more over the summer when it's more about like ocean season. We'll probably do a video just on ocean games. So I'm gonna hold that one off, and I'll talk about these other two games today.
Okay, that's fair. One question: is it a co-op game?
It is a co-op game.
Okay, I thought so. So real quick, mine is a game I have not played, but it really has the presence of this whole recycling thing. It has the recycling logo on the box cover, in fact, and that's called, I don't know how you pronounce the game. It's R-Eco. So it's capital R-ECO. I don't know what's R-Eco, Reco, whatever. But this is essentially a small hand management game with some cards where you're a company trying to actually pick up trash and put it into the proper, sort of categories of where it's supposed to be deposited and things like that. I think this would make a really good teaching supplement, actually, if you were doing a lesson on this with some younger folks. Probably be a good implementation of those topics that you would be talking about there. Never had an opportunity to play this one, but certainly was intrigued by the name and the description. So there's that. But as for some real picks, Eric, what's your first one?
So the first game that I want to talk about is called Aquacorn Cove. It's a 2 to 4 player cooperative game, and the theme is really just keeping the ocean clean. There's these little creatures called aquacorns. They're like magical little seahorses with unicorn horns or something, and they like a clean environment.
Are they sea monkeys?
No, they're aquacorns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sea monkeys don't have the thing, right? the unicorn horn?
Probably not. I never had sea monkeys. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think sea monkeys were just like brine shrimp.
Hmm.
Anyway, so the aquacorns, they want a nice clean environment. So you're going to be doing things throughout the course of the game that are going to cause pollution. There could be storms. And if you have buildings built like near the shore and a storm comes in right there, that's going to bring more pollution into the ocean. And every time like something like that happens, you lose reef health, right? That's one of the trackers on the side. It's your reef health. And ideally you want to have your reef health all the way at the top. I might have just said reef health. Anyway, and then you want to have your village prosperity all the way at the top. And then, you did it. You killed it. You crushed it. It's not that easy, though. But on your turn, you're going to play one of 3 cards in your hand out in one of 6 places to do actions. And then you're going to either plant food or gather food, or you're going to build a building, or you're going to, clean some pollution out of the ocean. And every turn there's a round where one player fishes, and the fishing is great. You get like the little bag of these like cardboard fish meatballs, and you get to reach in and pull them out, and you get to fill up your boat if you want. Once you have enough food, you can just stop. And there's maybe like 4 different types of fish. One's worth 1, another one's worth 2, and then another one's worth 3. So, each time if you pull out like, let's say a tuna, it's worth 3 fish or 3 food. But if you pull out 2 tuna, it's worth 6 food, but one of the tunas doesn't go back into the bag, so you won't be able to fish that later.
Okay.
So overfishing is another way that you can decrease the reef health.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's got a really cool setting and theme of just, it's got that positive, like, oh, we want to clean the ocean. We want to keep this clean. We want everybody happy. We want to plant food. And it's nice. It's very eco-friendly. It's definitely, got that in mind in the game. The rule book is okay. I found myself having a few questions, and I went to BGG to ask a question, and I can't remember what the question was, but the designer responded.
Nice.
And they responded, yes. Which is great, that you responded, but like, you could give me a little bit more. You could just give me a reason why yes, and be like, oh, hey, I understand you don't understand this, but yes, this is how it is. Great, thank you. There's not a lot of comments for this game, and I did notice. I don't know if he's watching, but Evan Diesel also had a comment for a rules question on this game.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did his get answered so abruptly like that too?
It did. What's really funny is that we haven't played this game in like a year or 2. And so the other day, like a month or 2 ago, when we played this game, I had a question, and I go and I look on BGG, and I'm like, oh, somebody else asked that question, and I'm reading it. And Melissa's doing the same thing. She's looking on her phone, and she sees the same, because there's only like 8 comments for the game. And she's like, you asked that question a year ago. And it was me. I asked the question right there, and he answered it. And I was like, oh, I guess awesome. It should have been in the rule book.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, the game's cool. It doesn't have, you don't win or lose, right? There's reef health and village prosperity. And if they're both at the top, you're going to read this passage or this excerpt from the book that says, oh, the ocean is in great shape. The village is happy. Everybody's super excited to live in this area of the world. Where if like the reef health is all the way down, maybe you did a poor job keeping pollution out of the ocean, and the village prosperity is in the middle. It might say, oh, your village, they don't really like you so much, and the ocean is on its way out the door. So it's just different. It's a scaled version of winning. You either win or you win.
That's interesting. That's usually usually in solo games, a lot of scoring like that.
Right. It feels like a solo game with something like that, which I guess it's fine. I feel like there should be a line somewhere where like, hey, if you go below like 3 or 4, you lost. All right. Yeah, here's what happens at the different stages underneath there, how badly you lost, but you lost. And I could be mistaken, but I don't think they include that. Anyway, that's my pick. What is the first game you would like to talk about?
So when we talked about making this video, this was the first game that popped into my head because it's literally called Planet, and that's about the planet, right? I mean, it might as well be called Earth Day for this video, and it would just fit. But anyway, we have mentioned this briefly before. I believe when we talked about Panda Day, although I'm not
Right.
certain how much we went into the game, and I'm not going to go into it very much
I believe it
either.
was an honorable mention.
Okay, okay. But this game has a really cool toy factor in that you get this core of your Earth, which has pentagon-shaped sides, and they're magnetic. And so during the game, you're taking these pentagon-shaped tiles that are also magnetic and putting them on one side. And so you're literally building a planet in your hands throughout the game. And that alone is a really just unique and really cool
Oh yeah.
kind of concept. Um, there's not too much to the gameplay, which I think is okay because it has that really cool like 3D building thing. But essentially, it's kind of like a majority sort of not area control, but you know, whoever has the most of a certain type of terrain on their planet is going to get this animal will come to them, and the animal cards are worth points at the end of the game. But overall, it's really pretty to look at. Like I said, you can get someone. This has table presence. Someone's going to ask you what you're doing if they see
Yeah.
you playing this game, and you just toss it to them. Be like, here, check this out. It's a magnetic planet. Oh, cool! And you decorate it and play with little spots and things like that. It's great for visual learners, and I think even I'd say to teach kids a little bit of geometry because you've got these pentagon sides, and the tiles are each divided into 5 triangles, and any number of them are these different types of terrain. So you might have one tile that has 3 triangles worth of desert, and then like an ocean one and a forest one or whatever, any combination of those, and you're trying to connect those at the corners on the planet to make those terrains ideally as big as possible, again, to attract those animals. And then I believe at the beginning of the game, you get a certain type of terrain that you're really trying to focus on overall. Say you get the water one, you're trying to just build the biggest or have the most ocean, I guess, pieces on your total planet, and there's a scale of how many points you'll score based on how many triangles you have of that one. Again, really cool toy factor here. It's a nice little sound to snap on that magnet on there and just kind of fool around with it. Good for fidgeting players as well because you can kind of.
I was gonna say, I don't even care if. So I like this game a lot.
Yeah.
I have this game, but you're right. I can fidget with this thing. I can move it around, and when it's your turn, because by the way, this game will cause analysis paralysis. You can see all of the animals for the entire game from the first round to, I don't know, the 10th round, and what each animal wants. They might want the biggest of a certain type of area or the most of a certain type. It's all different. And you could just spend hours just being like, how can I min-max this so that I can get every single one? And so we don't even play like that. We house rule like that. We only look at the round we're on and the next round. Everything else is face down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they
I
feel
get
really
that.
cool. I would not suggest, like you mentioned before, Anthony, that you could just toss it to somebody. Not my game. You can hand it to somebody, but please don't toss my game pieces around.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, this one's cool, and the art on the tiles is really cool. It's so pretty when it's done. It's just the toy factor, man.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally open this box, not play the game, and just build a planet,
Yeah,
like just for fun. And I mean, that's again something that at some point I can give my son to play with. Not now, because he'll
right.
probably.
I was
bug
gonna
it.
say if I had an extra copy, I'd give it to Zoe to play with because the tiles are going in her mouth.
Yeah, yeah. No, but at some point it's just going to be like something that's out there on the table, and it's very, it asks you to play with it. It asks you to explore and manipulate it a little bit, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's my first pick. We're moving on to recycle number 2.
Okay. The next game that I want to talk about is perhaps the most fitting, I think, Now, my last game was also really fitting, right? Because it's about cleaning the
Yeah.
oceans and everything. This game, I would say even more so because so the game is called Forest Guardians. It's made by Shepherd Kit. That's who the publisher is, who also produced my or published my honorable mention, Ocean Crisis.
Okay.
Now, real quick, I just want to say that the mascot for this company, Shepherd Kit, is, and I know you have a picture, so put it up on the screen so that we can see this as we talk about it. But it's this fox wearing a diaper, and it's so stupid. And there's this little kitty cat that's wearing like Boy Scout getup, right? And he's also one of the playable characters, and he's so cool looking. Why couldn't that be the mascot? Why has it got to be this stupid fox in a diaper? And it annoys me a little bit.
So what makes it the mascot? Where else is it in the game?
I've seen it on their website.
Oh, it's the company. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I believe I've seen it on the website. It's on the side of the box as well. I think it's on the cover page.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've seen it in a number of places because I'm not just going to just start, throwing shade at a company for having one stupid playable character for no reason. He's all over the place, or
So
she.
suffice to say, you're never going to pick Bean to play in this game.
I am never going to pick Bean to play in this one.
I don't know if Bean even knows why they have it on either. Because
I don't know.
they're kind of like, what do you want from me? I didn't design this thing.
I gotta show. Hey, I'll take a picture. We'll throw it up here, and we'll show everybody instead of showing the screenshot from your phone, and then we'll edit the rest of this conversation out, or not. Anyway, so the game, unlike Ocean Crisis, this game is not cooperative. It's a regular competitive game, and you're trying to plant trees, you're trying to put out forest fires, and you're trying to rescue animals and then release them. Those are the main things in the game. And then the game ends if one player plants all their trees from their board, their game ends. Or, it's like the last round. Or if somebody puts out all like the hexagon tiles, creating a board, that triggers the end of the game. But otherwise, you're doing these things and you're gaining points. Different animals that you rescue and then release. So you want to rescue them and then you want to release them into a suitable habitat. All the animals will have, I need a specific type of habitat and maybe this other thing. And once that area is made, then you can put that animal back out. And then you have that card, you'll get points later on for rescuing him. When you put out a fire, you keep like a fire token, and then you get points for all the fires you put out. And then every time you remove a tree, like a little tree meeple from your board and plant it somewhere, you'll get points on your board that are for uncovering them, right? It's like one of those games where everything's covered. And once you remove the tree, now I get a victory point at the end of the game. And if you get them all out of there, you get like 11 points. That's how many are underneath each of these trees.
Okay.
And perhaps my favorite part of it, I know I ragged on him a lot about that stupid mascot, and I'm not taking that back. That's said. That's on the record. But also on the record, I kickstarted this because I have Ocean Crisis, which I bought from my friendly local game store because he had kickstarted it, and it's kind of like a kid's game, Ocean Crisis. But anyway, we're talking about Forest Guardians. So I kickstarted it, and when it came in the mail, I wrapped it up, gave it to my wife for Christmas because it's got cute animals in it, and it's a green game. You're trying to save the world, and it's cool. Every single thing in the game, perhaps not the cellophane wrap that the game was wrapped in, although it might not have been wrapped in cellophane. I'll be completely honest. Every single thing was in paper or cardboard. 100% biodegradable game. And that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But you don't see that. I love using plastic bits, right? They feel cool. They look cool. And they're so easy. You can make them in a 3D printer. But this game went above and beyond to make sure everything was either wood or cardboard or biodegradable. And that's really cool. I really, really appreciate that. And so knowing that, I knew that going in. And when I was, backing it, I was like, oh, wow, look at all this stuff. And so I definitely backed it. and I'm very happy I did. The game's okay. It's fun. It's, you know, when the kids are a little bit older, and by a little bit I mean like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. I have no idea. They'll enjoy it, and until then, we'll still play it a couple times a year.
Cool. So, despite all of the good doing of the packaging and whatnot, nothing makes up for the diaper fox.
No, it's not that bad. The diaper fox isn't that bad. It's just I had to get it off my chest because what are you thinking, Shepherd Kit? Like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're like, oh, well, actually, we have this completely reasonable and rational reason for why we have this, and they could tell me that, and I'd be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Then I apologize for ragging on you guys, but I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to see this.
I don't think they're going to see this either.
That's a cool one. That is pretty cool that they did all that stuff for the environment.
Oh yeah,
it's certainly notable.
It's so cool that if they put out another game, I'm just going to get it. Right? Ocean Crisis, great theme. You're trying to save this one. You're trying to save the forest, putting out fires and planting trees. The next one, of course, I'm going to get it. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be 100% biodegradable, and I am definitely going to back it.
Awesome. Sounds great. All right, so my second pick here is a game that's not about really saving the planet in any way, but the places in the game are national parks and they are wildlife.
They're saved from the planet.
Yes, they are saved.
They're saved from the people that live on this planet.
That's true. And that's just simply called parks. In parks, you've got a couple of hikers, and you're going to be just moving along this hiking trail that gets a little bit longer each round by adding some tiles to it. So you might see, I think there's a display of 3 national parks when the game starts. And if you have a certain amount of resources that match what's on the card, you get to visit that park, get points for that. You can also cash in some stuff for extra gear that'll help you along the way by either, I think, reducing some of the costs for visiting the parks, like a discount kind of thing. It's really, really a fantastic looking game. Comes in a really good packaging to the point where they have a diagram on the side of the box that shows you how to pack up the game. Like, everything has this little place, and it's just perfect. You open it, it looks like, you know, if you were in the hobby and didn't know about parks and opened it, you'd be like, oh, is this the Kickstarter version of this game? Because it's like so nice. I mean, the pieces are just fantastic. A very highly photographed game all over social media. And still now people are taking photos of the little hiker people out, you know, in the outdoors on like a rock or a log or something.
I gotta be honest. I got sick of it for a little while, right?
Yeah.
I was like I played the game. I was like, oh, I want to take pictures of this, and then everybody is constantly taking pictures of this game because it looks great. It's got terrific artwork and components and everything. And everybody was just putting pictures up, and I was like, all right, I'm not just going to be another person that takes pictures of this game right now, because apparently right now this game is hot.
Yeah.
And that was about maybe a year ago at this point, maybe 8 months ago. That game was everywhere. And now that the expansion came out like a month or 2 ago,
yeah,
it's all over the place again. And I don't have the expansion, but I'm going to get it.
I think it's called Memories, so I'm not sure exactly what it adds. It probably adds something to do with the photos that you can take during the game.
You know what I really hope it adds? I hope it adds a box cover that has the name of the game on the side.
Oh yeah,
because that Parks box, I think one side has it like written real small on the bottom. And
yeah, maybe.
It's annoying. It's like that Oceans box.
What's more annoying though, having pictures like that or just completely blank?
The Oceans box is more annoying because each side has like words like that I have to like go close to read, right? I can't read it from back here. If it had one word and it said oceans, I wouldn't be complaining. We wouldn't be having this conversation. But it's got like, you know, it's probably some sort of message about like our ocean and the fish. It's probably some sort of positive message, but Just put it on 3 sides. Give me one side that says oceans, so I can put that way. Put like put the game on my shelf and have that side stick out. And and I know somebody must have thought about that.
Store it facing forward with the cover out.
I don't have that kind of space on my shelf.
You just got a new Calyx shelf.
And it's full, and I have more games that don't fit on it. And we have the other 2 shelves next to it. There's no more space. And this game thinks it's good enough to be face up. It is good enough. But I just want it on the side, like, don't be special. Don't take up that much space. I can only fit like 4 or 5 games in that one spot, and you're going to take up the whole thing?
I have a small, in this corner of the room, a small shelf that touches both sides of both walls. And I put like some of my smaller games on there. So I have Parks up there, but because it's this way horizontal, I get to see 2 sides at once. So pretty cool. But anyway, that's my second pick. It's Parks. Go check it out. At least look at pictures of it. I mean, besides the awesome components, the wooden pieces, the Parks cards are just awesome to look at. They're like a collection of posters, basically, of like all the national parks, and they all have a unique artwork on them. Very cool.
The artwork, great.
Yeah.
Components, great. And then the inserts, great. Just overall, it's just a great presentation, great production.
Yeah.
And I like that one a lot. And the game is very simple. That you could this is definitely going to be a hot gateway game. Yeah,
definitely.
It already is.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, we've talked about this before on other videos, but there's so many different themes or settings in these games nowadays that if you're trying to introduce someone into the hobby, if they're interested in anything, if they have any hobby at all, even if it's a tiny interest, there's something that you can kind of attract them with the game. And if anyone likes the outdoors or hiking at all,
saving the planet.
Well, yes, or saving the planet. This game is for them.
This video is for them.
This video is all for you. That's right. So Eric and I have given you 4 games, technically 6, to check out that are eco-friendly or about saving the planet. So that's going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching another Board Game Holiday Spotlight. Make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching. I'm Anthony.
I'm Eric, and have a happy Earth Day.
Peace.